Thank you for joining us for an introduction to Envision Jamestown, the town of Jamestown's comprehensive plan. Jamestown's comprehensive plan will serve as the primary policy guide over the next decade and beyond for issues related to land use, development, capital investments, and growth management decisions. The plan will include clearly stated strategies for development that prioritizes key projects for implementation by both the public and private sectors. This slide shows the general phasing for the Envision Jamestown planning process. During the first phase, we initiated the project and began background research. During phase 1, we also conducted some initial community outreach through the community survey, as well as listening sessions with stakeholders in the community. When we move on to phase 2, we'll be developing the plan based on some of the information that we've gleaned from the public, as well as our background research. When the plan is completed, we'll go through an adoption phase where we'll reach back out to the public, have hearings and other meetings before the plan is finally adopted by the town council. Prior to beginning the Envision Jamestown planning process, the Town Council appointed a 13-member steering committee to help lead the project. The role of the steering committee is to act as an advisory body to the consultant and town staff. They are reviewing and discussing information, ideas, and recommendations prior to the public presentation of those ideas and information. They also are assisting with public outreach and engagement throughout the process. And when the plan is developed, they will give a final recommendation to the plan prior to it advancing to the planning board and town council. The project management strategy for Envision Jamestown is for the consultant first to work with staff to review ideas and information before sending it to the steering committee for their review, and finally sending that information to the public during our engagement process. At the beginning of the process, the consultant worked with the steering committee to develop a public engagement plan that lays out how we would reach out to and involve the community in the planning process. The plan contains ideas about online and traditional news media engagement, ways for the town to communicate through its various outlets, and how the steering committee would engage with the public. In February, one of our first public engagement tasks was to hold a series of stakeholder listening sessions over 2 days to help our team develop a base of information about the community and inform the direction of our background research. We then worked with the steering committee to develop a community survey that was open from April through June. We're now in the process of scheduling our first direct public engagement activity, the Envision Jamestown Community Conversations. From there, we are planning on moving forward with other focus area engagement on topics including placemaking and community design, as well as growth management. The format and timing of those future activities will be determined with the steering committee in the coming months. We have published a dedicated website that contains information about the planning process, project documents, presentations, and other information to help keep the public informed. Please visit www.envisionjamestown.com to keep up with the planning process. The listening sessions that were held in February included people representing residents, business owners, the steering committee, town departments, former elected officials, public safety officials, development professionals, and community organizations in Jamestown. In total, we met with over 30 people and learned a great deal about Jamestown in that early engagement activity. Following the listening sessions, we summarized the main themes that emerged from our conversations. Perhaps first and foremost, everyone we talked to emphasized how much they loved Jamestown. The character of the community, its small town charm, was cited frequently as something that people felt made Jamestown unique and authentic as compared to its larger neighbors. Concerns about growth and development, in particular how to effectively manage growth in the community, was a frequent topic raised in the listening sessions. One interesting topic that emerged was the desire for the community to develop both more physical and social links. The railroad was often cited in this case as not just a physical, but also a psychological barrier that limited connections across the community. Other examples included the need to link old and new residents and improve pedestrian connections so that people could easily reach all areas of the town. People we talked to also attributed much of Jamestown's charm to its aesthetic quality. citing a desire to preserve those unique physical characteristics that make it special and improve areas that don't currently contribute to that desired aesthetic. Downtown Jamestown was a frequent topic of conversation, with numerous stories of success, as well as a desire to improve on all of the gains that have been made over the years to make the downtown a vital part of the community. Potential changes in character, be they related to physical changes, breakdowns in social linkages, a growth boom, and other changes that might alter the character of the town, were frequently mentioned as something that the stakeholders were apprehensive about. The unknowns about the bypass, how it might affect traffic, business, and other aspects of the community, for better or worse, were also raised by many of the people we spoke with. Maintaining a strong and interwoven community fabric was the desire of just about everyone we met with. The willingness of the community to reach out to help their neighbors in need, to support one another, and work together toward a common goal of a thriving Jamestown was a common theme. And finally, one of the things that people said they loved most about living in Jamestown was the overall walkability of the community, which they felt not only made it a more healthy community, but also enhanced the community by bringing neighbors together in public spaces. As we mentioned previously, a community survey was developed with the steering committee to get some initial feedback and input from the community as a whole. The survey was available online and covered a wide variety of topics, from growth to open space to parks to transportation and everything in between. The community survey opened on April 15th and closed on June 15th. The survey was promoted on the project website, Facebook, the town's website. The town did a direct mailing to all residential addresses in town, and banners were placed at Town Hall to help notify the public. In total, over 580 responses were received. The full results of the community survey are available in the Envision Jamestown Community Survey Results presentation on this website. The original plan for the Envision Jamestown planning process would have had us doing larger public meetings with direct engagement with a large number of people at one time. However, current conditions won't allow us to do that. We do still plan to engage in those same workshop themes with the community as we move forward with the planning process, and we'll be working with the steering committee to identify ways to do that. The first of these, which we'll be doing soon, is the Envision Jamestown Community Conversations. We'll follow that by doing some workshops and activities on placemaking and community design, followed by managing growth in the face of change. The Envision Jamestown Community Conversations will be occurring soon. In-person small group meetings will be held on August 8th and 12th, while online meetings will be available on August 11th and 13th as an option for people who cannot come to one of the in-person meetings. Multiple sessions will be held per day, with a maximum of 6 participants in each session. Each of the sessions will be 50 minutes long, and it'll be a facilitated group discussion about the community's vision for Jamestown's future. If you're interested in joining us for one of these community conversations, please visit envisionjamestown.com to register and review the other presentations before attending. Again, if you're planning on coming to one of the Envision Jamestown community conversations, or even if you aren't, please visit the project website to view the other presentations, including the community survey results presentation, the livability analysis presentation, and the background research presentation. Thank you again for joining us for this introduction to Envision Jamestown. We look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming community conversations. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions about the presentation or anything else about the planning process.